Story: The Kids, the Call, and the Consequences. I never expected something so simple, like a knock on my door, to cause this much chaos. But now I'm questioning every single decision I made that day. My name is Laura, and I live in a peaceful suburban neighborhood where privacy is practically non-existent. Everyone's business is everyone's business, and I've gotten used to it until recently. Sandra, my neighbor, has 5 kids, and let's just say they're not exactly well-behaved. She's the type of mother who lets them run wild and expects others to pick up the slack. I've said no countless times when she's asked me to look after them, but there's something about her that makes me feel guilty every time I refuse. This time was no different, but I could tell this was going to be a breaking point. One Saturday afternoon, I was finally catching up on some much-needed peace when I heard the familiar sound of knocking at my door. At first, I ignored it, hoping she'd go away. But after a few moments, the knocking grew louder and more persistent. I knew I had no choice but to answer. "Can you watch my kids for a few hours? A cab is waiting, and I can't get back in time," Sandra said, almost without a hint of hesitation. I told her I couldn't, but she wasn't hearing it. She gave me that look, the one that always made me feel bad, and insisted that I help her out. She was already in a rush, and the cab was apparently waiting for her. I stood my ground again, but she ran off, leaving me standing there, frustrated and annoyed. After waiting for about 40 minutes, I finally snapped. I sent her a text. "If you don't pick up your kids in the next 10 minutes, I'm calling child services." She didn't respond, so I called her. Twice. No answer. Finally, after the third call, she picked up. Her response: "I'm out of the city, and I can't come back. Just drop them off at Jennifer's house." Jennifer is a lovely elderly woman who lives across the street, but she has health problems. There was no way I was going to leave Sandra's chaotic kids with her. I told Sandra again, "If you don't come back in 10 minutes, I'm calling child services." She cursed at me and told me I wouldn't dare, but I did. In that moment, I felt like she was pushing me to make this call. So, I went ahead and contacted child services. When they showed up to take the kids, I sent her a video to prove it. That night, my husband, Tom, came home. He was furious. Tom had been in foster care as a child, and he knew exactly how bad things could get in the system. "You should have said no right then and there," he said. "Why wait 40 minutes to call them? You could have just told her at the door. And why didn't you take them to Jennifer's? You made this worse than it needed to be." I argued that I wasn't comfortable leaving her kids with someone else, especially someone as vulnerable as Jennifer. But Tom wasn't having it. He felt like I was making a bigger deal out of this than I should have, and he reminded me that once I called child services, I couldn't take it back. He shared some of his painful memories from growing up in foster care and made me feel like I had just made a huge mistake. Now, I'm up at night, wondering if I made the right call. Did I go too far? Was I right to involve child services, or should I have just let Sandra handle it herself? So, what do you think? Was I wrong to call child services, or did I do the right thing? And what about teasing or joking with your partner in front of others? Is it harmless, or can it actually hurt them? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it.